Sharks have been on this planet for 400 million years, inhabiting our oceans even before the existence of trees. Humans have been targeting and wiping out about 100 million sharks per year. But we can't protect what we don't understand. And apparently, there is hope through shark ecotourism. And what is that tour about? Throwing fish blood into the ocean and then jumping in. Might sound scary, but what we should actually fear is an ocean without sharks. The increasingly popular great white shark cage diving has brought man and the ocean's top predator closer than ever before. But in rare occasions, it allows for incidents like this one to take place.
Here we go. Oh my God. He's in the cage. Oh my God.
So yeah, recently, all of us have been seeing this video that a shark basically goes into a cage. Everybody can see that he's having a hard time getting out of the cage.
You could see in the video how panicked the shark is and how, you know, he immediately, once the top of the cage is open, as soon as he can figure it out. And then as he's jumping out, you can see the blood coming from the gills and from the side.
When this video went viral, exposing the incident to more than 22 million viewers, the public seemed equally concerned about the shark safety. Are perceptions on sharks shifting from fear to appreciation? It's refreshing to see that people are concerned for the shark, right?
Exactly. People is very mad because the shark was injured. So this is good.
It's a protected species, and exactly, it's the opposite of the jaws. And the operators, they don't want the animals to get hurt.
Exactly.
Only 1 week after the cage break incident, I journeyed to the island of Guadalupe in Mexico's Baja, California, to explore what role these personal encounters with the ultimate predator are playing in their conservation, and also in dispelling the fear of sharks, heavily imprinted on us by the media and films like Jaws.
Right here with you. All our days in sun and shade.
So Rob, I'm very excited to go to Guadalupe. What do we expect to see there?
Guadalupe is probably the best place in the world to dive and see great white sharks because the water is crystal clear. You can see for 100 feet. They're there to feed on seals, to socialize maybe. So, we're going to be in a cage most of the time. We're on a boat. So we're going to have limited access to them, but we'll get to see, the world's most badass shark in its natural environment.
Upon our arrival, I came across numerous adrenaline-driven divers and wildlife enthusiasts who continued to flock here seeking encounters with these mysterious apex predators. Did the experience change your perception in any way?
Yes, they're more grand than I've ever expected. They're more beautiful. If you look at the detail, they actually came pretty close to us.
Yeah.
And just to see the skin, just how awesome it is. I can't even describe the words for it.
What is shark ecotourism or shark tourism? What is it?
Well, for me, something that is very important because it changed the perception of humans about these animals. Everybody believes that sharks are like Jaws, that marine monsters, man-eating serial killers. And when they are face-to-face with this animal, they change. So at the beginning, they are very afraid. And after 1 hour of being directly face-to-face with this animal, they change completely their attitude.
It's unbelievable. You expect it to be extremely exhilarating, but instead it's like they're very majestic.
Peaceful.
They just kind of slowly come up and they surprise you, obviously, but it's elegant in a sense rather than like Jaws where it's really like raw. It's not like that. I think we should do everything we can to protect them.
Although tourists here might not know it, they also play a key role in shark conservation and research.
Also, ecotourism can help support research and expand our understanding. And as we do expand our understanding of these animals, we're realizing just how important they are for healthy oceans.
Yeah, many places in the world, sharks are protected because they're worth more money in the water alive for tourism than they are dead for fins or for other shark products. So tourism is massively important.
So there are some controversy about shark tourism, because there's a lot of people that says that it's not good for the sharks, or like not to habituate them to food and to relate food with humans, and there's some controversy around that. What do you think about it?
We really have to understand first each population. I think that they are apex predators, they need a lot of energy, and fish, what these boats are giving to them, it's not enough. So probably they are getting the fish, but it is not what they need for their regular life. So I think that is not affecting them in a negative way.
When it was time for me to encounter for the first time these incredible, intelligent and mysterious predators, Ocean Ramsey, renowned for diving with great whites outside a cage, had some advice on what to expect.
So over the next couple of days, we're going to get to observe how the animals are interacting with each other. So there's specific body language that the animals use to communicate with one another to establish a social hierarchy.
Yeah.
So the way that we recognize the alpha shark is generally it's the shark that's swimming the highest up in the water column or the closest to a point of interest. It's really easy for us because the point of interest is the bait.
Yeah.
So we're going to see which animal establishes that territory, and we're going to get to see the buildup between the two. So most basic, parallel swimming. And what they're trying to do is size each other up. It's not always the biggest shark, but generally the biggest shark ends up staying, and you'll see the smaller one drop down and leave. However, if you see a shark that's got a lot of cuts and scars and scratches, it's kind of like that guy that's covered in tattoos and like scars, and you're like, oh, he's a fighter, he's a scrapper, okay, I want to give him some space. So I do notice that sharks with deformities, or sharks with a lot of scars,
They're tougher.
sometimes that shark ends up taking up that dominant.
Even if he's smaller, he's just tougher.
They're not malicious, they're just very intelligent predators. Sharks have this perfect blend of curiosity and caution, and generally the caution actually outweighs.
Sharks have brain-to-body ratios similar to those of birds and mammals, but they're different because they've been honing their sensory systems for a long time. They're devoted their brains to sense of smell, to their electromagnetic field senses. But studies have shown sharks can learn, they don't fall for tricks like mirages, they recognize people's faces. So sharks are a lot more intelligent than people think.
This was something different.
Sharks affect everyone, are like the white blood cells of the ocean ecosystem. They pick up the dead, dying, weak, sick, injured animals. They keep lower trophic level populations healthy and in balance. And so if you take out the white blood cells, like you think about our own bodies, if you take out your immune system, what happens? You get sick and you die.
After spending 1 week here, and after about 20 cage dives, our photographer Kurt Kessler, together with Ocean Ramsey, submerged in a cage for a final dive, when suddenly,
Did you ever see his eyes and his mouth? Were you concerned about him trying to bite you?
I saw his eyes and his mouth. There was one point where, when I backed into my corner, where the shark kind of like in its thrashing was like, okay, this corner isn't getting me anywhere. And it kind of like turned toward me, looking for an exit. It looked right at me and almost immediately went back to where it was trying to get out. It had zero concern in me. It was just, it wanted an exit. It was pretty clear that shark wanted to get the hell out of that cage, and so did I.
There needs to be some changes, and I think that this is what needed to happen to make sure that the cages are changed, to maybe make them more circular, so that there's not a corner that a shark can hit its nose on, because if that wasn't a pointed cage, it would have gone past.
1 month later, I returned to the region to discuss our incident, as well as propose solutions to prevent similar accidents from taking place next season. I met with Mauricio and Fernando Aguilar, an experienced cage diving tour operator in the Guadalupe Island. We were together in a boat while one of these incidents happened. I want you to walk me through what happened. I mean, I need to understand from you.
Analyzing the situation, we had 7 sharks at the same time. And there was a juvenile right there. So one of the males wanted to get the bait, but the juvenile wanted to get it also. So the big one tried to take it first, and that's why it hit the cage. So it's the same. I mean, in most of the times, it's related with the competence between the sharks. They are trying to get the resource, and that's why we are having these kind of issues.
Es posible, y tú podrías garantizar que lleguemos a un momento en el que se pueda garantizar que no haya incidentes en los que los tiburones se van a meter en las cajas.
Mira, estamos ahorita trabajando en conjunto para eliminar todo riesgo. Se hicieron que las líneas fueran más largas, vamos a rehacer todas las jaulas de todos los operadores a un nuevo diseño para que este sea más eficiente.
What would happen if they close up the operations in Guadalupe?
If they close the ecotourism in Guadalupe, no one would be taking care of these animals. I mean, the Mexican Navy could go every month to check, but they do not have enough resources to be patrolling the area. So that's my main concern. When you have these boats, they are taking care of these animals. When the boats are not there, since everybody knows that Guadalupe is the perfect place to see the animals, we could have poachers, because you can get a lot of money for a jaw of a white shark. It's like a trophy. So that's why we really have to think about the better solution for this problem.
While forces align in the island of Guadalupe to implement new shark tourism regulations for the upcoming season, Kurt, who came closer than most of us ever will to what many perceived as a merciless man-eating beast, considers that his experience serves as the ultimate example that the great whites are not vicious predators.
After having this experience firsthand, do you think these operations should continue?
I think it should continue to be a thing, mainly because people need to understand these animals. If they don't understand that, they're just going to keep killing them for sport, for trophies, and it's just unfair.
The only people that are afraid of sharks are people that have never met one underwater. I think diving with sharks is one of the best things we can do for their protection, because people gain a love and appreciation of sharks that they didn't have before. And once you understand sharks, you see them in a new light, you fight for their protection.
Always I'll stay right here with you.
Next on shark tourism. Here, in the southern tip of Mexico's Baja California peninsula, lies Cabo Pulmo. Once an overfished, polluted, and lifeless reef, today Cabo Pulmo is a national marine park. The transition, however, has proven to be a tough experience for all.
Fue una cosa muy difícil. Si venían 1, 2, 3 buzos a la semana, era oro puro para nosotros.